A light in the dark. In a tiny village surrounded by dense woods, there was a tale passed down through generations about a mysterious light that appeared in the darkest of times. The villagers called it the light in the dark. Some said it was a guardian spirit. Others believed it was magic. No one knew for sure, but everyone agreed on one thing. The light only appeared when someone truly needed it. Lila, a curious girl with bright eyes and a kind heart, had heard the story many times. She loved to imagine what the light might look like. Was it a glowing lantern? A star that had fallen to earth? Or maybe a firefly with a special glow? She often wondered if she would ever see it for herself. One winter evening, the village was plunged into an unexpected darkness. A fierce storm had swept through, blowing out the lanterns and covering the moon with thick clouds. The streets were silent, and the cold wind howled through the empty alleys. Lila stood by her window, watching the snow swirl outside. She could hear her family talking softly, trying to stay calm, but the storm had made everyone uneasy. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. It was old Tomas, the village elder. His face was pale, and his hands shook as he spoke. "Lila," he said, "our neighbor, Mrs. Clara, has fallen ill. The healer lives on the other side of the forest, but no one dares to go out in this storm. I thought, perhaps you might know what to do." Lila's heart raced. She was scared of the dark forest, especially during a storm, but she couldn't ignore Tomas's plea. "I'll go," she said, her voice steady. "I'll find the healer." Wrapping herself in her warmest coat and lighting a small lantern, Lila stepped into the snowy night. The wind bit at her cheeks, and the forest loomed ahead, its tall trees swaying in the storm. Her lantern cast only a faint glow, barely enough to light the path. Lila's steps were slow and careful as she made her way deeper into the woods. The storm grew stronger, and soon Lila's lantern flickered and went out. She was left in total darkness. Her heart sank, and tears pricked her eyes. "What do I do now?" she whispered. Just as she was about to turn back, a soft, warm light appeared in the distance. It floated gently, like a star come to life, casting a golden glow that lit up the snow-covered trees. Lila felt her fear melt away. "The light in the dark," she breathed, remembering the old stories. The light seemed to beckon her, and Lila followed it. It led her through the forest, showing her the safest paths and guiding her away from fallen branches and deep snowdrifts. The light moved with a calm, steady rhythm, and Lila felt as though it was protecting her. After what felt like hours, the light guided her to a small, cozy cottage at the edge of the forest. It was the healer's home. The healer, an older woman with kind eyes, opened the door and quickly gathered her medicines. "You were very brave to come here," she said as they set off together, following the light back through the forest. When they reached the village, Mrs. Clara was treated, and her health began to improve. The villagers were amazed when Lila told them about the light. "It was real," she said. "It helped me when I didn't know what to do." From that day on, Lila was known as the girl who had followed the light in the dark. And though she never saw the mysterious light again, she carried its lesson in her heart. Even in the darkest times, there is always something to guide you, if you only keep moving forward.